Today, we stand at the breaking point of an empire. The day, the Qin dynasty's military machine, which once conquered 6 warring states and terrified all of East Asia, ceased to exist. This is the story of Zhang Han's surrender to Chu, a single decision that did not just lose a battle, but erased the last fighting force of the Qin Empire. Let us strip away the myths and stick to strict, peer-reviewed historical records to uncover the terror, betrayal, and fatal miscalculations that turned an invincible empire into a collapsing ruin in just a few months. In 209 BCE, the first tremors of rebellion ripped through Qin's unified realm. The uprising, led by Xiang and Huang, exploded across the former territories of the 6 states, and rebel armies marched straight toward the capital, Xi'an. The Qin court was paralyzed. Emperor Huang was a puppet, hidden away in his palace, drowned in luxury and cruelty. The real power lay with Zhao Gao, a scheming eunuch who had already eliminated Li Si, the last competent statesman, and turned the court into a bloodbath of purges and fear. At this moment of existential crisis, there was only one man who could save Qin: Zhang Han. Zhang Han was not a career general. He held the title of Shaofu, a minister in charge of the imperial household and construction projects. But when rebel forces, led by Zhou Wen, reached the gates of Xianyang, with hundreds of thousands of men, the Qin court had no standing army left to defend the capital. The elite southern army was stuck conquering Baiyu, and the northern border army, under Wang Li, was still mobilizing. In a desperate move, Zhang Han proposed releasing and arming convicts, laboring on the mausoleum of the first emperor, a force of roughly 700,000 men, raw, but desperate to earn freedom. What followed was one of the most stunning military comebacks in ancient history. Zhang Han turned these untrained convicts into a lethal fighting force. He defeated Zhou Wen outside Xianyang, chased the rebels eastward, crushed the core of the Qiansheng uprising, and executed rebel leaders one after another. He then marched against the Qi and Shu rebel forces, killing Tian Dan of Qi, forcing Wei Ju to commit suicide, and defeating Xiang Liang, the leader of the most powerful Chu rebel army at Dingtao. For a year, Zhang Han was the savior of Qin. He was the only commander who could win battles, the only man holding the empire together. His army became the de facto sole military pillar of the Qin dynasty. Every victory made him more indispensable, and more hated by Zhao Gao, who feared any man with too much power and loyalty to the empire, rather than to him. After defeating Xiang Liang, Zhang Han made a calculated strategic choice. He believed the Chu rebels were broken, and turned north to attack Zhao, one of the last remaining strong rebel states. He captured Handan, the capital of Zhao, and forced King Zhaoxie and Prime Minister Zheng to flee into the walled city of Julu. Zhang Han then split his forces. He ordered Wang Li to lead 200,000 elite northern border troops, veterans who had fought the Xiongnu for years, to besiege Julu, while he himself camped at Jiyuan, south of Julu, building a fortified supply road, called a Yongdao, to feed Wang Li's army. This setup should have been unbreakable. The Qin forces totaled nearly 400,000 men, the last combined elite and main army of Qin. The rebel allies surrounding Julu dared not move. They built dozens of fortified camps and watched from the walls, terrified, to challenge the Qin war machine. This was the moment Qin could have crushed the last major rebellion and restored control. Then came Xiang Yu, the nephew of the dead Xiang Liang. He was a warrior of unmatched ferocity, a man who would redefine warfare with one brutal, brilliant tactic. The Chu army sent to relieve Julu was first led by Song Yi, who camped at Anyang for 46 days, refusing to fight, and waiting for Qin and Zhao to weaken each other. Xiang Yu, furious at the delay and the suffering of his soldiers, executed Song Yi, took command, and led his 50,000 to 60,000 Chu troops across the Zhang River. In a move that would echo through history, he ordered all boats burned, all cooking pots smashed, and only 3 days of rations carried. This was Po Fu Chenzhou, breaking the cauldrons and sinking the boats. No retreat, no surrender, no going home without victory. Xiang Yu's army struck like a storm. First, his vanguard forces cut off Zhang Han's Yongdao, the lifeline of Wang Li's besieging army. Without supplies, the northern elite troops quickly descended into chaos. Xiang Yu then led his main force in 9 straight ferocious battles against Zhang Han's blocking army, shattering his formations and pushing him back. The rebel allies, watching from their camps, finally joined the fight once they saw Qin breaking. Wang Li's army was annihilated, Wang Li was captured, Su Jiao was killed in battle, Shi Jian burned himself alive rather than surrender. The Battle of Julu was complete. The northern border army, the pride of Qin's military, was wiped out. Zhang Han survived with roughly 200,000 troops, the last intact military force of Qin. He retreated to Jiyuan and dug in, facing Xiang Yu's coalition across the Zhang River. Militarily, he was not yet defeated. His army was still large, disciplined, and capable of holding a defensive line. But the real war was no longer on the battlefield. It was in Xianyang, in the poisoned heart of the Qin court. Zhao Gao had long seen Zhang Han as a threat. A victorious general was dangerous to a tyrant who controlled a puppet emperor. When news of Julu reached the capital, Zhao Gao did not send reinforcements, did not offer support, and did not attempt to stabilize the front. Instead, Emperor Huhai, at Zhao Gao's urging, sent envoys to reprimand Zhang Han, harshly blaming him for the defeat and threatening punishment. Zhang Han, terrified and confused, sent his chief of staff, Sima Xin, to Xianyang to explain the situation, beg for reinforcements, and plead for clarity. What happened next sealed Qin's fate. Sima Xin arrived at the palace gate and waited for 3 full days. Zhao Gao refused to see him. He did not acknowledge his mission, did not answer his requests, and gave no orders. Sima Xin realized the truth. Zhao Gao intended to scapegoat Zhang Han for all of Qin's failures. Fearing for his life, Sima Xin fled Xianyang by a secret route, knowing Zhao Gao would send men to kill him. When he returned to Zhang Han's camp, he told the general the cold, brutal truth. Zhao Gao controls the court completely. If you win battles, he will envy your merit and kill you. If you lose battles, he will execute you for defeat. There is no path to survival serving Qin. Another blow came from Chen Yu, a Zhao rebel leader, who sent a letter to Zhang Han. He cited the fates of Bai Qi and Meng Tian, 2 of Qin's greatest generals, both killed by the court, despite their endless victories. Bai Qi had conquered hundreds of cities, killed millions of soldiers, and was forced to commit suicide. Meng Tian had built the Great Wall, defeated the Xiongnu, and was executed on false charges. Chen Yu wrote, "You have led Qin's army for 3 years, lost hundreds of thousands of men, and more rebels rise every day. Zhao Gao has flattered the emperor for too long, and now he will rush to blame you to save himself. You are alone, far from the capital, surrounded by enemies, and your own court wants you dead." Zhang Han was trapped in an impossible dilemma. He could fight Xiang Yu and win, only to return to Xianyang and be executed by Zhao Gao. He could fight and lose, and his army would be destroyed, and he would die anyway. He could try to march back west to overthrow Zhao Gao, but his army's supply lines were cut, his soldiers were exhausted, and most had families in Qin territory who would be killed in retaliation. Morale in his camp collapsed. Food ran low, desertions began, and his soldiers knew they were abandoned by their own empire. For months, Zhang Han hesitated. He sent secret envoys to Xiang Yu to negotiate, but talks broke down. Xiang Yu attacked again, defeating his forces once more, and leaving him with no way out. In the 7th month of the 3rd year of Qin Ershi, 207 BCE, Zhang Han led his 200,000 remaining soldiers to Xiang Yu's camp and surrendered. This was not a coward's choice. Historical records and recently unearthed bamboo slips from the Han Dynasty tombs show Zhang Han's handwritten note, stating he surrendered to save his men from slaughter. He chose survival for his army over a pointless death that would only please a tyrant. But for the Qin dynasty, this surrender was a death sentence. Let us be clear about what this meant. Before Zhang Han's surrender, Qin still had a functional military structure, a command structure, a remaining field army, and the ability to defend the Guanzhong heartland. After Zhang Han surrendered, there were no more organized Qing armies left. The southern army remained isolated in the south and declared independence, never returning to help. The capital, Xianyang, was defenseless, guarded only by raw recruits and palace guards. There was no one left to fight, no general left to lead, no hope of recovery. The military system of Qin, built over centuries by reformers like Shang Yang, forged by kings and emperors, tested in hundreds of wars, collapsed entirely. Xiang Yu would later make a brutal decision. He ordered the 200,000 surrendered Qin soldiers buried alive at Xin, and fearing they would rebel. That act erased the last generation of Qin's fighting men. Meanwhile, Liu Bang's army marched west unopposed, entering Xianyang months later without a major battle. The Qin dynasty surrendered without a fight. The first unified empire in Chinese history, which had promised 10,000 generations of rule, collapsed in just 3 years after the death of Qin Shi Huang. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient China, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more epic history. See you next time.